You could at this level.
I could be San Francisco color. I could be the Merchants color. Not a 40-year-old.
But you're probably a better color than me because that's how we roll.
I don't know about all that.
Because wait, did you play in high school?
I played in college. You played with my hitting coach, actually, back home.
Do you want burnout?
It happens a lot more than you think.
It actually happens quite quickly.
I know like at least 7 guys off the top of my head who were dealing with that for high school ballers. In the shade. Very fair. Fun? Yeah, we'll do. Good luck to us. On the Blues. Let's do it. As we have lineup, I know we do. Can I check lineup? Our lineup? I didn't set it up because I wanted to make sure. I'm assuming it was that. Brightness all the way up.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monte Vista High School for today's California Collegiate League playoff contest. 2 visitors, the Blues, representing the city of San Luis Obispo, and a home team, the Walnut Crawdads. SLO brings a record of 24-16 into today's game at the conclusion of the regular season, while the Crawdads finished with a mark of 23-15. Crawdads getting the nod for hosting the home game by a .005 percentage point. The umpires for this afternoon's game, I had to play Mr. Ron McGath. At first base, Mr. Eric Thompson.
Postseason baseball from Walnut Creek, California. It's a wild card game in the CCL North between the visiting San Luis Obispo Blues and the home team, the Walnut Creek Crawdads. The Crawdads clinching up to 2 seed after defeating the Alameda Merchants by a score of 7-1 just a couple of days ago, and the Blues ended the regular season with some magic at Sinsheimer Stadium. The second walk-off of the summer for Diego Murillo clutched that final playoff spot for the Blues. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast booth. My name is Nate Mills, calling the balls and strikes today on the SLO Blues Streaming Network as we get you set for the Blues and the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Here's the starting lineup for your hometown team since 1946, San Luis Obispo Blues. E.J. Royal plays in center field and leads it off with Jake Hicksonbaugh playing in right and batting second. Zach Tallman's the first baseman batting third, and Sam Ardois the third baseman cleaning it up. Diego Murillo, the shortstop, bats fifth, with Drew Raymond, the left fielder, batting sixth. Gavin Smith DHs and bats seventh, and Nico Button catches and bats eighth. Rounding it out in the 9th spot is the second baseman, Gavin Constantine. And on the hill today for the Walnut Creek Crawdads, Colin Nowacek. He's a Cornhusker from the University of Nebraska, making his 6th start of the summer for the Dads and his 8th appearance, and it comes against the Blues. Everyone's ready and set. Here's the leadoff man, Royal. First pitch missing outside at exactly 4 p.m. on the campus of Monte Vista High School. Game time temperature 81 degrees and sunny. From the windup, here's Nowacek. He strides and shoots, and Royal pokes it up and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike to EJ. On that Blues 4-3 victory against the Orange County Riptide a couple days ago at Sinsheimer. Royal went 1 for 4, scored a run, struck out twice, and stole a bag. Here's the 1-1. Royal takes in the dirt, 2 balls and a strike now. And EJ has been the everyday leadoff man for the Blues, with the exception of maybe a handful of games. You could probably count on one finger how many games he's missed for San Luis Obispo. He's making his 42nd start of the summer. Royal checks his swing. They don't even appeal. Now they do. He didn't go around. 3 balls and 1 strike to EJ. Royal has walked 28 times this summer compared to his 25 strikeouts and has been hit by 7 pitches. Wind blowing straight out to right center field, 3-1. Royal takes down the heart of the plate for strike 2. Now a full count to EJ. And Royal has gone through many swing phases, many stance phases this summer, different types of approach, and here he's worked himself into a 5-pitch at bat, now 6 against Nowacek. Fastball, 2-seamer on the inside corner, strike 3. Royal grimaces as he heads into the dugout, and the first out of the ball game. So Royal goes down looking, and it brings up the right fielder, Jake Hixenbaugh. Hixenbaugh, Colorado State University Pueblo commit, digging in the back of the left-handed batter's box. Some thick, wet dirt on the home plate here of Monte Vista High School. Very well-maintained atmosphere. First pitch. Hixenbaugh takes a fastball, dotted on the other half for strike 1. Jake went 1 for 5 with a run scored, drove in 1, struck out, and recorded a double against the Orange County Riptide. 0-1. Hixenbaugh takes a blooping curveball above the zone. A still afternoon at the campus of Monte Vista High School in Danville, California. Clear skies. 1-1. Hixenbaugh takes a curveball here. This time it finds the zone, a ball and 2 strikes. Tough with 2 now with Jake Hixenbaugh as he slightly chokes up on his bat. Standing on deck, it's Zach Tellerman, the former Spartan from San Jose State. Here's the future Thunderwolf from Pueblo. Slider yanked outside in the other batter's box, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jake wearing white batting gloves, white wrist tape, blue and white shoes. The Blues wearing their road navy tops with silver lettering and gray pants. Dad's in pinstripe pants, black jerseys, and red lettering. 2-2. Hixenbaugh buckled up on a curveball for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts looking for Colin Nowacek to begin this ball game. And Nowacek's got the strikeout numbers. Entering today's game, he had pitched in 24 2/3 innings with 29 strikeouts and 12 walks, and he has just collected number 30 and 31 for the first 2 outs. Here's Tellerman, the first baseman, batting third, and arguably the best hitter in this Blues roster this summer. A .341 batting average to finish the regular season with a .995 OPS. Tellerman takes the first pitch fastball high and outside, 1-0. Last summer for the Blues, it was the summer of E.J. Royal, who led the team in nearly every offensive category, including OPS. As Tellerman takes another fastball here, it misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes. His OPS was .956, so actually Zach Tellerman finished with a higher OPS than EJ's cartoonish season last year with the Blues. Here's the 2-0. Fastball errant, and the catcher Justice has to stand up. 3 straight balls to Zach Tellerman. He talked about E.J. Royal, his different phases of approaches and batting stances. Tellerman's kind of gone through a similar process, seeing a lot more pitches down the final stretch. Fastball, it's a 2-seamer, missing just below the knees for ball 4. First base runner of the afternoon for the Blues, and it comes on a 4-pitch walk from Colin Nowacek. So Tellerman at first, that's not ideally the runner you want over there. Not only is he not known for his speed, but he's also dealing with an ankle injury, a slightly tweaked up back. But either way, it's the first base runner of the afternoon for the Blues. They'll take it no matter what kind of speed you have. Here's the third baseman, Sam Ardois, who's batting 4th. Standing a little more upright in his stance than usual, twitching in the back of the right-handed batter's box. First pitch is a changeup and a called strike, 0-1. Ardois went 1 for 5 2 days ago against the Orange County Riptide. Playing third base today, Northwestern State wants to see him at shortstop, but in a game like today, Dean Traynor feels more comfortable putting Diego Murillo there. Two-seam misses in the dirt. Tollerman jets towards second base, and he chugs into the bag standing. A wild pitch moves Zach Tollerman into scoring position. So now Sam Spice Ardois stands in with his black batting gloves and reflective sunglasses with orange tint. A peek at second base. Noachik comes home. Ardois flinches and it misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hitters count for Ardois. .325 in left and in right field. .380 to center. Ardois swings and misses for strike 1. 2. So now tough with 2 is Sam Ardois wearing the high-rise pants tied around the calves and the thighs with the black and white dunks digging into the dirt. The Deuces Wild offering. Ardois pops it up on a curveball and out of the stadium. Will do it again. Ardois this summer has driven in 23 runs on his 40 hits. 9 doubles, 2 triples, and 2 homers. Leads the team in doubles with 9. 2-2. Ardois swings and misses for strike 3. Blues don't go down quiet. They strand Zach Tollerman at second base. No runs, no hits, no errors, and we head into the bottom half of the first. It's the wild card game from Monte Vista High School on the SLO Blues streaming network. Go quietly in the top half of the first inning. Now it's time for the home half of the frame, and the Walnut Creek Crawdads are coming up in the CCL North wildcard game. Winner of this one has a trip to Sonoma at Arnold Field tomorrow afternoon at 6 p.m. Leading it off for the Walnut Creek Crawdads, it's the DH Ryan Ellis. He faces the right-hander from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, Charlie Royal, making his 4th start of the summer for the Blues with his .516 ERA. From the windup, Ellis pops it up and out of play for strike 1. Ryan is a Maverick from UT Arlington and a former Gale from St. Mary's, just down the road here from Danville, California in Moraga. He's a Peoria, Arizona native and is 5'8", 160 pounds. 0-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Last game that the Crawdads played against the Alameda Merchants a couple days ago, he went hitless, 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and a sacrifice fly. Royal digs his face in his leather and delivers. Fastball sent straight back, and we'll do it again, 0-2. Ellis, today's DH, has been one of the more productive hitters this summer for the Dads. hence why he's in that leadoff spot. Batting .234 this summer. 20 walks to his 20 strikeouts and a .759 OPS. 0-2. Slider missing low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Before going hitless against the Alameda Merchants on July 27th, he was riding a 5-game hit streak. 2 of them, multiple hits. Fastball off the hands, and it's lined down the first base line and foul. Last time Ryan Ellis played against the San Luis Obispo Blues, it was at Sinsheimer Stadium on July 6th. He went 1 for 4 with a strikeout. From the windup, the 1-2. Ellis off the hands once again, and he stays alive against Royal. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up for the left-handed hitter from Peoria, Arizona. A third-year Walnut Creek Crawdad who played in 2022 and 2023. Rehabbed a knee injury this past season at Division I ball. The 1-2. Ellis drives it into right center field. Royal giving chase in the alleyway, and he won't have a play as it one-hops the wall. Ellis rounds first and heads into second base. Royal can't dig it out of the dirt. The throw comes in, and that's all Ellis will get. A leadoff double for Ryan Ellis puts the Crawdads in business right away. Ryan Ellis able to straighten it out against Charlie Royal. He was right on that fastball, hitting it off the hands a little bit, maybe just a scotch too late. He straightened out his timing by a couple of milliseconds and sent it in the right center alleyway. Jake Hicksonbaugh on right had no chance of getting there. He was playing very close to the right field line. E.J. Royal was shifted that way, so he had a little bit of a shorter route, but still couldn't get there in time. So now with the leading run at second base in the bottom of the first inning, it's Cam Calvillo. Big lead off second base for Ellis. Here's the pitch. Calvillo flinches but takes outside, 1-0. Cam from Castro Valley, California, is a Matador from Cal State Northridge, a former Bulldog from Gonzaga, and a former Renegade from Maloney College. Maloney and Gonzaga, ring any bells? Well, former San Luis Obispo Blue Brennan Comerford was teammates with Calvillo and is now going to Gonzaga. Pitch misses in the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes to Cam. Comerford has since departed from the team to focus more on getting stronger for his first season of Division I baseball in Spokane, Washington. This field, Monte Vista High School, is not too far from where Comerford grew up in Pleasanton, California. Here's the 2-0. Calvillo pops it up into right. Hicksonbaugh takes a couple steps in. The runner Ellis stands on second. He freight breaks to third, and that's the first out of the inning. Pop out to Hicksonbaugh, and it brings up the Crawdads' best hitter, Joey Donnelly, a Fordham commit and a former Golden Bear from Cal Berkeley. Good job by Royal to get that weak contact from Cam Calvillo. This is someone who has terrorized the CCL for the past 2 seasons, having a bit of a lesser year this year, but certainly has the ability to wreak havoc. And you can certainly say that about Joey Donnelly, too, who is 5th in the CCL with runs batted in and hits. First pitch. Donnelly cracks it into right. Hicksonbaugh charges in. He won't have a play. It drops in front of him for a base hit. Aggressive turn at third for Ellis. He scores standing. Donnelly's in at second. He thinks about third, but he'll hold up there. An RBI single for Joey Donnelly, and the Crawdads strike first. It was a single for Donnelly, and he advanced on the throw that was cut off. So now Joey trades places with Ryan. 2 hits and 1 out in the inning. They checked third to see if Ellis missed the bag. He didn't. Early lead for Walnut Creek as Zach Justice, the San Diego State Aztec, digs in the batter's box.
Zach Justice.
Justice, the catcher from Bend, Oregon. As they check third again, and they confirm once again that Ryan Ellis did touch third. The Blues are 5-6 when the opposing team scores in the first inning. And against all odds, the Blues are here against the Crawdads. The Blues famously are winless the first game off the bus from San Luis Obispo. This one hit to second base on the ground. Constantine squares it up and throws it over to first for the second out. That advances the base runner Joey Donnelly to third. And with 2 outs, here comes Cam Taylor. 1-0 lead for Walnut Creek in the bottom of the first inning. The CCL North wildcard game at Monte Vista High School. It's the left-handed hitting Taylor playing first base today in their 7-1 victory against the Alameda Merchants last night, which clinched Walnut Creek to host this game. Taylor went 1 for 4 with an RBI single and a strikeout. Pitch missing on his back foot, 1 ball, no strikes. Cam from Lithonia, Georgia. A 3-time transfer, Florence Darlington Tech, Andrew College, Eastern Kentucky. Darlington Tech, a very good JUCO program. 1-0. Low and inside. Button has to slide to his right to get there. 2 balls and no strikes. Charlie Royal has allowed 1 run to come in the bottom half of the first inning, and the Dads lead early against the Blues. Left on right matchup, 2-0. Off-speed pitch hit in the center part of the zone for strike 1. And Cam Taylor, don't blame him for taking that one. You're up 2-0 in the count. You get a slider there. You have the luxury to take a pitch like that, even if it's right down the middle of the plate. You want a meaty fastball, and he didn't get it. He's hoping for one here with another run standing 90 feet away. With 2 outs to 2-1. Slider slipping out of the fingertips, and it misses in the other batter's box. 3 balls and 1 strike. Taylor batting .253 this summer and has driven in 18 runs, 2 homers, 23 hits, 2 doubles, too. From the stretch, 3-1. Fastball missing inside, and that's ball 4. 22nd walk of the summer for Cam Taylor, and it puts runners at the corners for the Dads. Taylor keeps the inning alive, and it brings up Riley Leininger. Leininger, today's starting shortstop, is also a left-handed batter facing the righty Charlie Royal. He was hitless against the Alameda Merchants 2 days ago, 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts. Runner takes off to second. Leininger puts it in play and bounces it over the first baseman Tellerman's head for a base hit. Coming in to score is Donnelly. Getting the stop sign at third is Taylor. An RBI single for Riley Leininger, and the Dads pack on 2-0 against the Blues. Not the start you were anticipating for San Luis Obispo, and this staff was really confident about the stuff Charlie Royal would bring to this game against Walnut Creek. Everyone thought it was a good matchup, and that take is not aging well so far. An RBI single Leininger, and it brings up Joey Coupland, a left fielder, batting 7th with 2 outs and runners at the corners. Blues trail 2-0 in the bottom of the first inning of the wild card game. B move over to first base, and back in time is Leininger. Ryan Ellis and Joey Donnelly have scored in this game. From the stretch, runner takes off and it hits the batter Coupland in the helmet. He stands in the batter's box for a few seconds before shaking out his hair and discarding the gear as he trots over to first. Charlie Royal shakes his head in disgust, and he should be. This loads up the bases for Walnut Creek in a disastrous start to this game. Coupland's hit by the pitch, and Trey Johnson's coming up. The manager, Dean Traynor, heads out to the rubber to talk to his pitcher. And already we're seeing Cam Taylor start to warm up some pitchers in the pen. And we got a few options here. Looks like Chase Rogers is there with Raf Shirella. Traynor taking his time on the hill, really trying to hit reset here for Charlie Royal. If he can, he would like to not go into his bullpen here. He's only brought in so many arms, and if the Blues win today, they have a game tomorrow against the Sonoma Stompers, so you really got to be careful about what pitchers you use in what situation. It's a brief conversation as the entire infield heads back to their positions and Dean Traynor heads into the dugout. So it is confirmed Chase Rogers is warming up in the bottom of the first inning. Walnut Creek is up 2-0 over the Blues. An RBI single from Joey Donnelly and an RBI single from Riley Leininger make it a 2-0 game. Bases loaded. Here's Johnson. Trey Johnson takes a first pitch fastball at the knees for a called strike. Johnson played 3 days ago on July 26th against the Menlo Park Legends. Went 1 for 3 and scored a run for the Dads. Taylor at third, Leininger at second, and Coupland at first. Coupland was just hit by a pitch before a meeting at the mound. The 0-1, missing above the shoe tops and dancing out of the way is Johnson. 1 ball and 1 strike. Trey Johnson, a native of Walnut Creek, has been hanging around the Dads since he was in high school. A graduate from Monte Vista High School, where we're at right now. Another pitch at the knees, nicely placed from Royal, 1-2. He's a Trojan from Skyline College, had 13 extra base hits this past season, 30 walks to 17 strikeouts, drove in 38 and 49 hits. It's a good first year of college ball. 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, Charlie Royal gets out of the jam, but the damage, it's been done. 2-0 lead for Walnut Creek as we head into the second inning at Monte Vista High School on the SLO Blues streaming network. Top of the second inning from Monte Vista High School. The Blues trail early, a 2-run inning for the Walnut Creek Crawdads in the home half of the first as Diego Murillo swings and misses as he leads off this inning for strike 1. It was an RBI double from Joey Donnelly that scored Ryan Ellis, who led off the frame with a double, and an RBI single for Riley Leininger, scoring Donnelly. 0-1, and Murillo swings right through it for strike 2. So due up this inning, it's 5-6-7. Murillo, Drew Raymond, and Gavin Smith against the left-hander Colin Nowacek from University of Nebraska. From the windup, 0-2. Fastball high and outside. Try to get Murillo to chase after it, a ball and 2 strikes. And you're going to have to do a lot more to break through the discipline of Diego Murillo at home plate. This guy knows the strike zone better than anyone. He is the walk-off hero from 2 days ago. Curveball plopping just outside of the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I checked that 2-2 to Diego. That was a pitcher's pitch from Nowacek. Unbelievably didn't get the call. So another chance for Murillo in a 2-2 count. Here it comes. Wicked looking slider, and he swings right over it for strike 3. Man, that was disgusting from the left-hander Nowacek. Yeah, started low and completely broke out of the zone and low onto the back foot of the right-handed hitting Diego Murillo. Really not much you can do there. That's already the 4th strikeout for Colin Nowacek in this game. All of the outs so far for the Blues have been strikeouts. They've had 1 base runner. It was Zach Tellerman who walked and reached on a wild pitch. There's Drew Raymond, now in an 0-1 count against Nowacek. Raymond started a couple of days ago against the OC Riptide. It went 1 for 2 with a pair of walks and a stolen base. Here's the 0-1. Slider just missing off the plate outside. A very tight zone from the home plate umpire here. Pitchers on both sides are going to need to adjust to that and take notes about what pitches are being called and what aren't. Here's the 1-1. Another slider missing below the zone again. 2 balls and a strike. Drew, the left-handed hitting batter against the left-handed throwing Nowicek. The Blues are rolling out 3 left-handers today. Hicksonbaugh batting second, Raymond batting sixth, which is right now, and the catcher Nico Button batting eighth. He stands in the hole. Here's the 2-1. Raymond takes a fastball at the knees for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Bronco from Santa Clara and a native of Spokane, Washington. Working quickly, Nowicek delivers from the windup. Here's the 2-2. Raymond pokes it just over the Blues dugout down the third base side and will do it again. The utility player from Harvard, Gavin Smith, awaits on deck. Raymond widening his stance in the lefty box. Infield playing straight up. The 2-2. Raymond watches it just inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Man, this is a picky zone today. And really good pitches from Nowicek. That's not quite paying off for him. He displays his burnt red leather. Now delivers. 3-2 is hammered into right field. Down the line, and it falls for a base hit. Raymond rounds first and heads into second. Donnelly bobbles it in right. It's a double for Drew Raymond with 1 out. First hit of the ball game for the Blues, and it's a loud crack of the bat from the Bronco from Santa Clara. All of a sudden, the tying run is at the dish for the Blues and Gavin Smith. He's hit 1 home run this summer, and it was on opening day in his first at-bat with San Luis Obispo. And throughout the rest of the summer, he's driven in 20 runs on his 26 hits. He's making his 28th start for the Blues today. He finished the regular season with a .243 batting average and a .318 slugging. 303 on base, that's a .320 OPS. 2-seam fastball nibbling at the outside corner, it's 0-1. And the lefty Nowicek has tons of arm side run. What does that mean? Well, if you're a right-handed batter and you have a fastball coming at you, it's going to dive away from your swing. Vice versa if you're lefty. Fastball missing low, and it's 1 ball and a strike. If you're a left-handed batter and the fastball is coming towards you, it's going to cut in towards your hands. So that's something that hitters are going to be looking at too. Certainly Nico Button, a left-handed hitter, is looking at that on deck. And Gavin Smith, obviously in the box, trying to make some adjustments here. Raymond at second. Here's the 1-1. Curveball dipping in the zone for a strike. 1-2 to Gavin Smith. Wearing some shady rays in the batter's box with his crimson red batting gloves. Looking polished and perfect, holding the black bomb bat. Raymond inches off second base with 1 out. 1-2, and a changeup misses low. And an even count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is the CCL North wild card game on the campus of Monte Vista High School. The winner of this one goes to Arnold Field to play the Sonoma Stompers tomorrow at 6. 2-2, and Smith takes it low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Briefly, we had a pitcher warming up in the Blues bullpen. And no longer. There's no more action there now. After the inning, Charlie Royal led up a 2-run inning with 3 hits. 1 extra bases. Raymond takes off to third, and Smith loses the bat. The ball goes down to third. A strikeout swinging for Gavin Smith. That's the second time he's lost his bat this season, and it was at Sonoma the last time that happened, and he might be a little tweaked up right now. He's kind of limping towards the dugout. Hopefully he's okay, but Gavin Smith goes down swinging on strikes, and now there's 2 gone for Nico Button. That's the 5th strikeout of the day for Colin Nowicek, and now it's Nico Button's turn to drive in the first run of the afternoon. A stolen base for Raymond. He stole one yesterday, or 2 days ago, against the Tide. First pitch to Button misses high and tight. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at third and 2 outs. Blues trailing 2-0 in the top of the second on a warm afternoon in Northern California. Button has driven in 5 runs this summer on his 6 hits. Takes a fastball here, and it hits the outer corner, 1-1. Nico is playing in his 15th game of the summer for the Blues. Has walked 7 times, been hit 4 to his 10 strikeouts. 1-1. Button watches a floating curveball above the zone, 2 balls and a strike. Nico, a Northern California native, a graduate of J. Sarah High School, where legends Barry Bonds and Tom Brady went to high school, is now going to University of San Diego this fall as a transfer. 2-1. Button flinches and takes strike 2. Another 2-seam fastball into the outer corner. And that's just been the attack plan for Colin Nowacek. Just try to hit the outer half and have the fastball sizzle into the zone with some crazy horizontal break. Don't have the numbers for you today. TrackMan system is not available to us. 2-2, a soft grounder to short. Leininger charges it, makes the throw on the run, and it's in time. The Blues strand Drew Raymond on third base after his one-out double. No errors, no runs. They trailed 2-0 heading to the home half of the second inning on the SLO Blues streaming network. Welcome back to Monte Vista High School. A CCL North wildcard game between the visiting San Luis Obispo Blues and the hometown Walnut Creek Crawdads. Well, the Blues trail early in the bottom half of the second, a 2-0 lead for the Dads, all thanks to an RBI single from Riley Leininger and an RBI single from Joey Donnelly. That scored Ryan Ellis from second base, who led off the frame with a double against Charlie Royal. It was a disastrous frame for the Cal Poly right-hander, even so that the Blues had to start warming up another arm in the bullpen. But that warming up has now ceased, and now leading it off, it's Hunter Hirayama. Hirayama takes the first pitch low and outside for ball one. Well, Hirayama is a newer addition to this Walnut Creek roster, an infielder from William Jessup. First pitch, or second pitch in there for a strike, 1-1. Hirayama is essentially replacing infielder Jared Medham. And so far, doing okay, 4 for 17. Hirayama pops it up, and it will be out of play for strike two. Hunter, a rising senior, standing at 5'8", 175 pounds. Played his first game on July 22nd. That was just 7 days ago. The 1-2. Hirayama taps it on the ground left side, but it's foul. And it was against the Alameda Merchants, where they lost 7-4 against Alameda. He went 0 for 1. He pinch hit. The first start he got, though, was the very next day at the College of San Mateo. Went 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a hit by pitch. 1-2. He cracks it in the air to the right field. Hixenbaugh charges in and makes the one-handed catch for the first out. Hunter Hirayama is retired, and it flips it to the top of the order, and Ryan Ellis. And Ellis led off the bottom half of the first inning with a double. Came around to score on that RBI single from Joey Donnelly. Ellis starting out this game with a bang after going 0 for 4 against the Merchants 2 days ago. First pitch from the windup. Slider just missing outside, 1-0. Ellis, a utility man from Peoria, Arizona. On the 1-0. Popped in the air to the left side. Center fielder Royal canters to his right and makes the catch. 2 pop-outs from Charlie Royal, and it brings up Cam Calvillo, who popped up himself the last time he was up. Hixenbaugh made the play, and Calvillo's 0 for 1. 2 outs, home half of the second. Blues trailed 2-0 in an elimination game in the CCL North.
Third baseman Cameron Calvillo.
Royal impatiently waits on the rubber. And Calvillo with an open stance and stirrups gets ready. Cam takes the first pitch fastball for strike one. And Calvillo spent 2 seasons at Ohlone College in 2022 and 23 and played shortstop and third base at Ohlone. Won 2 Coast Conference titles. Made a run at the championship. Hard grounded to short. Gobbled up by Murillo. Flicks it across the diamond in time. Much cleaner inning for Charlie Royal as he faces the minimum. We head into the third. The Blues still trail 2-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Colin Nowacek has 44 pitches through 2 innings of work. The Blues getting deep into counts, but Colin's been winning them. He's got 5 strikeouts on the day so far in 2 innings. And Drew Raymond touched him up in the second with a 1-out double that was then stranded at third. Here's Gavin Constantine, the second baseman, leading off. Constantine takes the first pitch outside, and it's 1-0. Gavin has had his fair share of struggles this summer with the Blues, batting south of 100. 2-seam fastball, and that's a miss at 2-0. Constantine, the St. Bonaventure Bonnie from upstate New York. Here's a 2-0. Constantine grounds it softly to short. Leininger charges it, makes the running throw, and a stretch by Taylor is in time. Leadoff ground ball out from Gavin Constantine, and it brings up the top of the order in E.J. Royal. Royal is 0 for 1 today. He began this ball game with a strikeout looking against Nowacek. Colin, the left-hander from Nebraska, has been working quickly against these Blues. He's also been placing that 2-seam fastball very neatly in the zone. The Blues have either been swinging and missing or completely leaving it. First pitch is a flat fastball here. It's up and away, 1-0. Yeah, EJ 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking. It was that nasty arm side run 2-seam fastball. Left on right matchup, 1-0. Royal cracks it on the ground left side. Moving to his left as Leininger makes the one-hop across the body, and EJ beats it out for an infield base hit. Infield single for Royal, and the second knock of the day for the Blues. Again, the tying run at the dish now, Jake Hicksonbaugh. Still a very reachable game for San Luis Obispo as they only trail 2-0 in the top half of the third. A 2-run inning in the home half of that frame has given the Blues a deficit. But there's a lot of baseball game to work with, and Jake Hicksonbaugh, who is riding an 11-game hit streak, digs in and looks for 12 in a row. Pretty big leadoff first for Royal, and the left-on-left matchup. Hicksonbaugh cracks it on the ground right side. Second baseman Hirayama flips it to first. It's a little high, and Taylor with a nice stretch is able to make the recovery and the catch for the second out. Now that moves EJ over to scoring position at second base, and now Zach Tullerman, who walked in the first. ZT went 2 for 4 with an RBI and a couple of strikeouts in that 4-3 victory over the Orange County Riptide 2 days ago That was the last game at Sinsheimer in 2025, and what a magical day it was. Blues hoping to ride that momentum and get a win against the Dads today in the first game of the wild card. Slider slips out of the fingertips outside. Justice slides to his right, 1-0. A lanky 6'5" Zach Tullerman surveys his bat and slowly nestles in the batter's box. Navy blue top and helmet with royal blue gear. 1-0. Tullerman flinches on a two-seam that ducks below the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Zach Tullerman in the hitter's count as the teeth of the order is due up for the Blues. Tullerman, Ardois on deck, and Diego Murillo in the hole. E.J. Royal at second base. 2 outs and a 2-0 count to Tullerman. A peek at the bag. Now an inside move and no throw. Some brand new bases here at Monte Vista High School too. Looks like they're freshly spray painted or fresh out the bag. Now, certainly the last time we were at Monte Vista, they did not look this bright. Showing your best for the wild card game. The 2-0. Tullerman with a long swing and a miss dribbles it into the backstop for strike 1. And we got a student section down the right field line as too. There's a storage container in which some college-aged fans are climbing on top of it and sitting in some lawn chairs. That's the life. Last game the Blues played here, they had to stop it for a second because all the chirping that was happening there. They're awfully quiet today. They might have learned their lesson. 2-1. Tullerman hits it on the ground to short. Leininger scoops it up and fires to first. Taylor can't get his foot on the bag. Cam Taylor had to jump out of the air to get that baseball, and he couldn't come down in time. And E6 from Leininger completely rushing the throw. That puts Royal at third and Tullerman at first. There's Sam Ardois, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 2 outs in the inning. The Blues looking to put some markings on the scoreboard, at least one, as they trail 2-0. It's the Northwestern commit. Fastball high and outside, 1-0. Ardois all summer with the Blues has been so disciplined in batting practice with an opposite field approach. Though he has lots of pull side strength, he tries to keep it to right center. He's getting pitches to do that. He just got another fastball outside. It's 2-0. Ardois also wearing shades on a very bright and warm afternoon in Walnut Creek. The right center alleyway is wide open. Center fielder Johnson shading to his right. 2-0. Ardois flinches on a two-seam that spins outside of the zone. 3 straight balls to the Moss Bluff, Louisiana native. Good speed at third, and E.J. Royal, and less than ideal speed at first, and Zach Tullerman. That's the tying run. 3-0. Ardois swings and hits it off the end of the bat to center. It's blooped. Johnson is there to make the catch. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 error, and 2 left on base for the Blues. They can't cash in for the second inning in a row, and they still trail 2-0 heading into the bottom of the third. On the SLO Blues Streaming Network, this is the wild card game from Monte Vista High School. we go, bottom of the third inning at Monte Vista High School, and the Blues are trailing 2-0. They just had their second opportunity in as many innings to score a runner in scoring position, and they couldn't quite do it. No runs on 2 hits for the Blues, and 2 runs on 3 hits for the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Joey Donnelly leads it up for the Dads. He struck first in the bottom half of the first inning with his RBI single against Charlie Royal, who's back out there for another inning. First pitch. Donnelly takes a fastball high and outside, 1-0. Joey obviously 1 of 1 today with that RBI single, and he eventually came around to score the second run of the day for the Dads with an RBI single from Riley Leininger. 1-0. Donnelly with a high bouncer up the middle, diving at second base is Constantine, but he won't get there. Joey Donnelly is perfect. 2 for 2 as he leads off the third with a single. Leadoff base runner, and now it's the catcher, Zach Justice. Justice grounded to the second baseman, Constantine, the last time he was up. Just came off an 0 for 5 day at Holy Names University in the Eastern Bay of San Francisco, home of the Alameda Merchants. That's where the Crawdads clinched the 2 seed in the playoffs with that win against Alameda. Runner takes off to second. Here's the pitch and the throw. The throw is on time. And wow, the umpire just completely faked everyone out. So they're going to say Gavin Constantine was interfering with the bag at second. And I can see the vision. I mean, he was completely straddled over the bag and essentially standing on top of it. The second base umpire pointed, and it looked like she was about to make an out call, but then threw the safe sign immediately after, showing fist at first to represent interference, and Gavin Constantine on that play. So Joey Donnelly has a stolen base. Dean Traynor trying to bargain for that call, and he's just not going to win. Dean Traynor always milks these conversations, and seldom does it go his way, but he's going to have the last word every time. It's still an extensive argument. Everyone showing palms in the air. Traynor pointing towards second base. Joey Donnelly has a stolen base, and that call is not going to change. The rest of the umpiring crew is coming to converge to not discuss it, but try to get Dean away from the field umpire so he can resume play. Dean is fired up. Managers famously cannot get thrown out in the CCL this year. As a collective agreement that was called upon in the offseason. So Dean can talk for as long as he wants. Dean just trying to fire up his guys, if anything, since he can't get thrown out. And Zach Justice still. So that pitch was a ball to Zach Justice. Button couldn't make the throw down. It was a fastball. Here's the 0 for 1 San Diego State Aztec. 1-0. Nice looking slider from Royal, and it nestles in the zone, 1-1. Runner at second base. Joey Donnelly just stole the bag. Dad's up 2-0. 1-1. Another slider, and it's popped up and out of the stadium. No one moves a muscle. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Justice, Bend, Oregon native, was formerly a Duck at the University of Oregon. Redshirted his first season and is now heading to the Mesa to play for the San Diego State Aztecs in the Mountain West Conference. They're coming off a brutal year. 1-2. Justice fouls off a fastball straight into the fence behind home plate, and will do it again. But in high school, he was the top-ranked catcher in the state of Oregon and the 6th player overall according to Perfect Game. Nationally, think about how many catchers are out there. He was ranked as the 63rd best catcher by Perfect Game. Peek at second base. 1-2. Justice takes outside, and Button stops it with a backhand. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Justice, who served as a team captain his senior season at Summit High School. At one point in time, he was a Californian and named first team All-State and first team All-Mountain Valley Conference at O'Dowd, Bishop O'Dowd High School. 2-2. Justice with a high bouncer to second. Murillo makes the play across his body, one opposite to first. They got him. Throw goes to third, and it gets away. Runner is out at first, but Donnelly scores from second on an errant throw by Zach Tollerman. E3 makes it a 3-0 ball game. So Justice is out on the 6-3 putout. And Donnelly scores on an error from Tollerman. Second error of the day for the Blues, and not off to an ideal start in the first third of this ball game. We're just about an hour into it, and with one out, up comes Cam Taylor, the left-handed hitting batter against the righty Royal. With one out, Taylor takes a fastball above the zone, 1 ball, no strikes. Cam Taylor, the first baseman who was 1 for 4 2 days ago, walked the last time he was up. There's a fastball trying to pinpoint the outer half. He doesn't get the call. 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0. Taylor off the hands, flares into the left field. Raymond charges it and will catch it with 2 hands for the second out. Now it's Riley Leininger. 1-for-1 day for Riley. An RBI single made it a 2-0 ball game.
Shortstop Riley Leininger.
Leininger, the left-handed batter, swings and misses the first pitch changeup for strike 1. Leininger, a Sooner from Oklahoma and a native of Georgetown, Texas. 2-time district MVP at Georgetown High School. 0-1 is hit hard and foul down the right field line. No balls and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Leininger, who is now the transfer portal after redshirting his first season at Oklahoma. Pitch missing outside, 1-2. 2 outs, a 1-2 count to Leininger, with Joe Coupland standing on deck for the Dads. Blues trailing 3-0 against Walnut Creek in an elimination game at Monte Vista. 1-2. Popped up behind home plate, and it goes out of the stadium, and will do it once more at 1 balls and 2 strikes. Leininger is the 2024 Perfect Game Texas All-Region first-team infielder and played on the 2024 Royal Scout team. That's a good squad. Oh, 1-2. Leininger takes in the dirt as some dust kicks up behind home plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bullpen still empty for San Luis Obispo. They trail 3-0. Deuce's wild offering. Fastball hammered down the right field line, but it's hooking foul. 325 fence down the right field line, right next to the college kids standing on top of the storage container. Everyone's sitting with their legs crossed, sunglasses on, beer in hand. Just as life should be. 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. Leininger hits another hard ground ball, this time to second. Constantine throws it over to first in time, and the side is retired. But not before Joey Donnelly scores on an error from Zach Tollerman after his lead-off single. It's a 3-0 game. The Walnut Creek Crawdads lead, heading to the middle third of this one on the SLO Blues streaming network. Top of the fourth inning from Monte Vista High School. An elimination game, the CCL North wild card matchup between the San Luis Obispo Blues and the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Well, the Blues trail 3-0 against the Dads, and Walnut Creek tacked on an error from Zach Torman at first that scored Joey Donnelly. First pitch swinging and missing is Diego Murillo for strike one. Murillo led off the second inning and struck out swinging there. He's 0 for 1. The lefty Colin Nowacek is back out there again. 0-1. Murillo grounds it to second softly. Hirayama charges it, overhand flip to first, and Taylor catches it for the first out of the inning. 4-3 ground out for Diego Murillo. He's now 0 for 2 today, and it brings up Drew Raymond. Raymond, the big and tall left fielder from Spokane, Washington, is a D1 Bronco from Santa Clara. He recorded the first base hit of the afternoon for the Blues, a double in the second inning with 1 out. Eventually stole third and was stranded on the base. First pitch, Raymond watches a high fastball, 1-0. Drew, a couple days ago in the last regular season game against the Orange County Riptide, went 1 for 2 with a stolen bag and 2 walks. Here's the 1-0. Curveball popping out of the hand of Nowacek, but can't quite land in the zone. 2 balls and no strikes to Raymond. 3:25 down both the lines at Monte Vista High School, and Raymond with an opposite field approach swings at the 2-0 and fouls it in front of the Crawdads dugout, 2-1. And I talked to Raymond in batting practice a few times, and it seems to be a common sentiment around this team to want to hit the baseball up the middle or the opposite way. There's a lot of guys with pull-side power like Drew. You got to stay disciplined. 2-seam fastball, and Nowacek tried to nibble at the outside corner, doesn't get the call. 3 balls and 1 strike. Raymond settles in a left-on-left matchup with 1 out. Here's the 3-1. Another 2-seamer, this time in the zone, and a full count at 3-2. Raymond, 1 of 2 Blues to collect a base hit today. 5 Blues have struck out against Nowacek through 3 1/3. 3-2. Raymond off the hands, grounds it to the right side. First baseman Taylor gets it, flips to first, not in time. Drew Raymond beats it out. He's 2 for 2 today, a double and a single. A somewhat ugly infield base hit, but the Blues will absolutely take any base runner anyway. And Raymond reaches, and he's got some pretty good speed over there at first too. Now here's another corner outfield, Gavin Smith, who is actually DHing today. He sways in the right-handed batter's box and swings and fouls back the first offering he sees for strike 1. Smith is 0 for 1 today with a strikeout in the second. He's one of the 5 victims against Nowacek. Last started 6 days ago against the MLB Youth Academy. Went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts and a walk. With 1 out and a runner on first, the 0-1 is cracked to short. Leininger gets it, flips to second for 1, and they turn the double play. Oof. That one's got to hurt in your lower stomach for the Blues. They just finished having a powwow in the dugout, and just like that, Gavin Smith ends the inning in 4 minutes. Blues still trail 3-0 as we head into the home half of the 4th inning on the Slow Blues streaming network. In an inning brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. Bottom of the fourth is brought to you by the talented team at Studio Design Group Architects. Whether you're designing, planning, or needing permits for a new space, Studio Design Group and their collaborative philosophy have you covered. Visit sdgarchitects.com to learn more. Joe Coupland leads it off. First pitch is a fastball and a called strike, 0-1. The Blues had another opportunity tarnished in the fourth inning. Drew Raymond reached on a one-out single, beat it out on a flip over to first base, and Gavin Smith grounded into a double play to end it. This one grounded to third. Ardois gobbles it up, fires across the diamond, and with the Tellerman stretch is in time to retire Coupland. 5-3 put out to begin the fourth, and now it's the center fielder Trey Johnson, who is 0 for 1 today. He struck out swinging to end the first inning, where the Crawdads tacked on 2 against the Blues. RBI singles from Joey Donnelly and Riley Leininger made it a 2-0 game, and then Donnelly scored in the third on an error. Opposite way line drive in the left center alleyway, and Raymond clunks it in left field. Johnson trots into second base, and that'll be a double. And Raymond was striding to his left, tried to pick it. It never touched his glove, and Royal, the center fielder, had to back him up. Johnson's aboard with a one-out two-bagger. So Chase Rogers and Matt Betancourt both have baseballs in their hands as the catcher Cam Andrews gets ready to warm them up. Looks like it'll just be Chase Rogers getting hot for the Blues, and Hunter Hirayama up with a runner on second base. First pitch. Hirayama moves his hands over a two-seamer, and it's a called strike. Hunter, a late addition for this Crawdads roster, played his first game for the Dads just a week ago against the Menlo Park Legends. Played in that July 27th game 2 days ago against the Merchants, which clinched the 2 spot. Slow roller to the third. Ardois checks the runner at second, throws across the diamond. Tellerman with a little hop makes the catch and falls back on the bag in time. 2 groundouts to Sam Ardois make up the 2 outs in this inning, and now we'll flip it to the top of the order and Ryan Ellis. Ellis 1 for 2 today. First swing of the Crawdads this afternoon was a double in the first inning, and he came around to score on the Joey Donnelly RBI single. Next time he was up, it was in the second, and he popped out to E.J. Royal in the left center gap. Trey Johnson stands at second after a double. Inside move, the throw is there, but the tag not in time. And Murillo had to spin around, the right-hander spinning towards his left shoulder side, and that bought more time for the base runner Johnson to get back to the bag. First pitch to Ellis. The lefty swings and fouls it straight back for strike 1. Last played college baseball in 2024 at UT Arlington and batted just south of 300 at 298 and 198 at-bats. Good sample size. 30 RBIs on 59 hits and 1 homer. The 0-1. Curveball line the opposite way, off the wrist of Murillo, and it rolls behind the bag at second. Murillo actually jumped too high to catch that ball. It clanked off his forearm/wrist. And that'll go down as a base hit. Ryan Ellis' second of the day moves Trey Johnson to third. So Johnson's at third and Ellis at first. Runners at the corners for the Dads. 2 outs though. Middle infield can get a ground ball and flip it the easy way as Cam Calvillo steps in. And conveniently for the Blues, Calvillo grounded out to short the last time he was up. Before that, he popped out to Jake Hixenbaugh on right. So Cam Calvillo, the third baseman, is 0 for 2. From the stretch, Royal pauses, now picks over to first. B move as Tellerman comes off the bag. And Calvillo, no stranger to the CCL, making his return with the Crawdads this summer. After batting .304 at Cal State Northridge this past spring, 3 home runs, 18 RBIs on 34 hits. Another pick to first, and back in time is the base runner Ellis. Blues trail 3-0. We're in the bottom half of the fourth inning. A right-hander, Chase Rogers, warming up to maybe replace the starter Charlie Royal this next frame. First pitch to Cam. Calvillo takes a fastball low and outside, 1-0. Calvillo is a Castro Valley native and is entering his senior season with the Matadors. Middle infield ready for a grounder. And this one kicks off the foot of Button. And I think it might have caught a piece of the bat of Calvillo. So 1-1 now to Cam. And Calvillo kind of flinched at that pitch. Might have caught a knob of the bat and then off the toe of Button. I hope an umpire called foul. And we're ready to go on 1-1 with 2 outs. Popped up to the right side. First baseman Tollerman is at the fence, leaps and can't make the catch. Hits the top of the fence of the Walnut Creek dugout, and another life for Cam Calvillo, who was 2 for 2 2 days ago against the Alameda Merchants. Recorded a double, an RBI, a walk, and a run scored. Part of that 7-run flurry against Alameda. Runners at first and third, 2 outs, 1-2 count to Cam. Royal peeks up and down and picks to first. Calvillo 0 for 2, a pop out and a ground out. Trey Johnson at third, he doubled with 1 out. And Ryan Ellis at first, he singled with 2 outs. Long pause with 2 outs and another pick. Standing on deck for the Dads, it's their dangerous hitter, Joey Donnelly, who is a perfect 2 for 2, has scored 2 of the 3 runs today. One-two. Calvillo flips his bat out there and gets a piece of this curveball as he punches it out of play. Crawdads have 6 hits in 3 2/3 innings. Blues have 3 hits in 3 innings. SLO has committed 2 errors to the Crawdads 1. Oh, 1-2. Calvillo pokes it the opposite way and foul. Pitch number 6 coming up in this arduous at-bat between the right-hander Royal and the right-hander Cam Calvillo. The CCL North wild card game on the campus of Monte Vista. Winner faces the Sonoma Stompers tomorrow at 6 at Arnold Field. 1-2. Another foul down the left field line. 5 foul balls in this at-bat for Cam Calvillo. Just spoiling away all the offerings from Charlie Royal. Blues fans traveled well to this game in Northern California, which was a 3-hour and 30-minute drive. 1-2. Liner to third, scooped up by Ardois. On the run, Tellerman picks it at first base, and the runner is out. Trey Johnson is stranded at third, and Ryan Ellis at first. A ground out from Cam Calvillo ends the top half of the 4th inning. Now it's time for the Blues to try to come back and tie this one. They trail 3-0 heading into the 5th on the SLO Blues streaming network. Top half of the fifth inning from Monte Vista High School. The Blues on the edge of elimination against the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Here's Nico Button. First pitch is a slider low and outside from Colin Nowacek for ball one. Button is 0 for 1 today with a ground ball out to the shortstop Leininger, the future Torero committed to the University of San Diego. 1-0. Button leaves it high, 2 balls and no strikes. A left-on-left matchup between the lefty Nowacek and the left-handed catcher Button. Nowacek, the southpaw from Nebraska, has looked really good against the Blues. Here's a two-seamer hit in the top part of the zone for strike one. A 2-0 take for Button and moves into a 2-0 count. Nowacek's day might be coming to an end soon. 2-1. Sent straight back, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Blues have worked themselves into 5 full counts this afternoon against the left-hander Nowacek, who is a strikeout first guy, but the Blues haven't struck out 2 innings in a row after striking out 5 times. Curveball missing just inside as Nico Button rolls his shoulders. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and now the 6th 3-2 count. From the windup, here's the payoff. Button swings and fouls it off the ankle of the home plate umpire, and will do it again. Nico last played it down on Sparky Anderson Field in Thousand Oaks, California, against the Oaks 4 days ago, and went 1 for 4 with a stolen bag and a walk. That single was hit the opposite way and blooped off his hands. Blues are in the East Bay against the Walnut Creek Crawdads. And Nico Button grew up in the Bay Area and graduated from J. Sarah High School and stayed in the area with the Cal Berkeley Bears for 3 seasons. 3-2. Button with a high chopper to second. Hirayama sizes it up and flips it over to first. 0 for 2 day for Nico Button, and it brings up Gavin Constantine.
Second baseman Gavin
Constantine 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to the shortstop as well. 0 for 4 2 days ago against the Riptide. He draws a cross just outside the right-handed batter's box and nestles in with his baby blue batting gloves. He wiggles as he gets ready. And gets a fastball blown by him for strike one. Crawdads lead 3-0 in the top half of the 5th inning. And the leadoff man, E.J. Royal, stands on deck for the Blues. Good looking two-seam fastball at the knees of Constantine. No balls and 2 strikes to the St. Bonaventure of Bonnie from McKinley, Texas. Slightly choking up on the bat. The 0-2 is chased upstairs for strike 3. 3-pitch strikeout to Gavin Constantine, and there are 2 outs at the top of the 5th. That brings up E.J. Royal, who is 1 for 2 today. Struck out looking in the first and recorded a single in the 3rd. Blues have stranded 4 base runners in the past 3 innings, as the first pitch misses outside for a ball. Two of them more maddening than others. 1-0. Royal takes another fastball and a called strike 1-1. Raymond was stranded at 3rd in the 2nd. Royal and Tolleman were stranded on base in the 3rd. Raymond was stranded on 1st in the 4th. The 1-1. Royal with a high tapper to the mound and a leap from Nowacek as he throws it across his body to first in time to retire the side. Colin Nowacek faces the minimum in the top half of the 5th inning. We're halfway through at Monte Vista High on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. In an inning brought to you by SLO County Golf. bottom half of the fifth inning is brought to you by SLO County Golf, offering 3 courses in SLO, Morro Bay, and Atascadero, and a unique combination of beautiful scenery and affordable prices. Book your next tee time at slocountygolf.com. Heart of the order due up for the Walnut Creek Crawdads as the Blues face elimination at Monte Vista High. First pitch lined right back up the middle, and Royal can't make the play. Some smoke from Joey Donnelly, and he's a perfect 3 for 3 on the afternoon following that RBI, that leadoff single. Blues trailing 3-0 against the Dads and the home half of the fifth. Charlie Royal still out there with Chase Rogers continuing to warm up in the pen for the Blues. So it's the Aztec Zach Justice from San Diego State. 0 for 2 day today with a couple of ground ball outs. Blues would love a ground ball here with a runner on first. Pick to first. And it's a B move from Charlie Royal, and Donnelly's in there safely. Joey, who just recorded that leadoff single, is 5th in the CCL in hits, and after today's game, probably bumped up a step or 2. 3 for 3 day for the right fielder. Another pick to first base, and Donnelly's in time. Justice, a Bend, Oregon native, played baseball in his home state of Oregon for the Ducks. Now heading to Southern California to play for the Aztecs in the Mountain West Conference. First pitch. Justice skies it up behind home plate. Button takes off the mask, but gives up at the fence as it lands behind the seats. Strike 1 to Zach Justice with a runner on first base. In high school, his senior season at Summit High, he reached base half the time, 55% to be exact, with a .625 slugging. Fastball misses high, and that's a balk on the pitcher, Charlie Royal. Now, Royal apparently didn't come set, and Donnelly will now be in scoring position. And it's just mistakes like that the Blues have to minimize, and not even minimize, completely eradicate trailing 3-0 against the Crawdads, because this is a team that can smell blood in the water offensively and attack. And with balks like that, they'll ambush. Swing and a miss here. Justice tried to ambush a slider, but he misses right over the top of it. No balls and 2 strikes to the catcher, Justice. Middle of the infield, playing to the pull side of the right-handed hitting Justice, who did not play his first season at Oregon. And he gets hit in the forearm here. Ouch. A loud smack as he caresses his left arm jogging down to first base. Hit by pitch, the second of the day from Charlie Royal, and there's 2 runners on for the Dads. Manager Dean Traynor will now go to the pen. A new righty from Lafayette. He's a Leopard, Chase Rogers. We'll tell you more about him right after this. Blues trail 3-0 with 2 runners on and no outs in the bottom half of the fifth on the SLO Blues streaming network. So Cam Taylor leads it off against the new pitcher for the Blues. Chase Rogers comes in to replace Charlie Royal. Royal, the starter, went 4 innings of work, 7 hits. The runs are to be determined as he has 2 on base. First pitch from Rogers misses low and inside to Taylor. 1 walk and 1 strikeout. And now it's the funky sidewinder from Lafayette University in Rogers. Chase this summer for the Blues has a 1.05 earned run average coming out of the bullpen. He comes set in an offset stance, peaks at second, now delivers. And this is a high bouncer to second base. Constantine charges it, underhand flips to first, and barely retires Cam Taylor as it moves 2 runners into scoring position. Donnelly now at third and Zach Justice at second. A 4-3 ground out, and it brings up Riley Leininger. Leininger recorded an RBI single in the first inning, and he's trying to collect a couple more here and extend against the Blues, who are getting shut out against Walnut Creek on the face of elimination in the CCL wildcard game. First pitch, Leininger leaves a fastball high, 1-0. Rogers has allowed 2 earned runs this summer and 17 in a 3rd innings pitch. And Dean Traynor will intentionally walk Riley Leininger with first base open. Would much rather face Joey Coupland, who was hit by a pitch and grounded out to third. And I can't blame Dean. Coupland from Chabot College has only driven in 8 runs in 49 at-bats on 11 hits. He stands with the bases loaded. First pitch. Popped up and out of play. That's strike 1. 1 out, and Donnelly at third, Justice at second, and Riley Leininger, who was just intentionally walked, at first. It's the righty Coupland from Danville, just down the street. Grounder to third, and it's foul. 0-2 count to the two-way Coupland, who catches, plays in the outfield, and is a right-handed pitcher from Chabot Community College. He just finished his first season with the Gladiators in 2025, where he drove in 31 on 31 hits, a .556 slugging, fueled by 8 homers and 8 doubles, 17 extra base hits. 0-2. Liner to right field, and it falls in front of Jake Hickson by a base hit. 1 run is in, and that's it. An RBI single for Joe Coupland makes it a 4-0 ball game. The crowd in right field goes nuts. They immediately stood up from their lawn chairs to cheer on their Crawdads. Joey Donnelly scores from third. So now Justice is at third, Leininger at second, and Coupland at first. And that brings up Trey Johnson, who doubled in the 4th inning. First pitch. Johnson slowly rolls it to short. Murillo tags him, now goes to second, and Constantine wasn't paying attention. The throw goes into right field. So the runner Leininger was tagged out as Murillo gloved it right in front of him. That was a great play. And it'll be an error to second base as Murillo tried to turn 2 and Constantine wasn't paying attention or didn't see it. Either way, the ball went into right. Oh, it saved a run. And with 2 outs, there's now runners at the corners. Leininger is out. And Justice is still at third. Coupland at first. And Hirayama is up. Check that. A run did come in to score. That would be Zach Justice. Hirayama takes for ball 1. So Coupland is at third and Johnson's at first. And it's Hunter Hirayama, who's 0 for 2 today. 1-0. Hunter takes for a called strike, 1-1. Crawdads have extended in the bottom half of the fifth inning. They're up 2-0 against the Blues. Dads have scored in 3 of their 5 innings played today. C move over to first base. Joey Donnelly has scored with his leadoff single, and Zach Justice, after getting hit by a pitch, has scored as well. Hirayama takes outside, 2-1. Hunter 1 for 2. Run scored an RBI 2 days ago against the Merchants. A long-time Gale from St. Mary's. 2-1. Grounded to short. Murillo backhands it, throws across his body to first. Tellerman leaps and hops on the bag in time to retire the side. 2 runs on 2 hits, an error, and 2 runners left on base. The Crawdads extend 5-0 over the Blues as SLO is running out of time heading into the 6th inning on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Top of the 6th inning from Monte Vista High School. The Blues on the brink of elimination. It's the CCL North wild card game on the campus of Monte Vista High School. The Walnut Creek Crawdads hosting the Blues after walking off the Riptide 2 days ago. First pitch, and it's a hard breaking curveball for strike 1 to Jake Hicksonbaugh. Hicksonbaugh 0 for 2 today. Fastball yanked outside. Jake Hicksonbaugh reaches on a leadoff single that hit on top of home plate, or third base. And Zach Tellerman 0 for 1 day with a walk.
First baseman Zach Tellerman.
Lefty Nowacek comes set from the stretch with Hicksonbaugh at first. Tellerman swings at the first pitch and pops it up and out of play for strike 1. Kind of a 3/4 swing from Zach Tellerman. We've seen a few of those in the final 2 weeks of the season. A little bit more unsure about what pitches he swings at. There's an audible or a visual effort to change the approach. Runner takes off to second. Here comes the throw. It is on the money, and they got him. Jake Hicksonbaugh is hosed at second base. He tries to bargain with the second base umpire, but he was out. He is sharing some words with the shortstop Leininger. Hicksonbaugh was out fair and square. Stolen, or a caught stealing for Jake Hicksonbaugh. It's a 1-1 count. Tellerman now with the bases empty. Takes a curveball on the outer half for strike 2. Here's the 1-2.
Changeup.
Tallerman takes a changeup up and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two. Tallerman takes outside. Full count to the right-handed hitting Tallerman. The lefty delivers and misses low and inside for ball 4. Second walk of the day for Zach Tallerman. It would feel a lot more impactful if Hicksonbaugh was still on base, but the Blues start over with 1 out. And the pitching coach for Walnut Creek heads out there to talk to his left-hander, a righty getting loose in the pen for the Dads. Peter Storjahan gets hot. A gaucho from UC Santa Barbara. Sam Ardois awaits at the meeting at the mound. The Blues trail 5-0 against the Walnut Creek Crawdads in the top half of the 6th inning. The clock is ticking on the 2025 season for the Blues. They want to flip over that hourglass as soon as possible and earn themselves a trip to Sonoma. Currently getting shut out right now. Only 4 hits on the day for the Blues. Drew Raymond has 2 of them. With Tallerman in first,
Third baseman Sam
Ardois digs in. First pitch. 2-seam fastball down the heart of the plate for strike 1. Diego Murillo stands on deck for slow. 0-1. Ardois flinches, but a 2-seam misses high. Nowacek shows teeth, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Short lead off first for ZT. With 1 out, the 1-1. Ardois skies it in the right center gap. The right fielder Donnelly takes a few steps in and makes the catch for the 2nd out. Ardois retired for the 3rd time today, and with 2 outs, here comes Diego Murillo. Murillo uncommitted after a season at Northeastern State University in Oklahoma. Entering his senior season after 2 JUCO years at Cuesta College. First pitch, and that hit him. Fastball ricocheting on his beefy green elbow guard, and he's aboard. Tallerman advances to second. Murillo at first. The Blues currently out of slam range against the Dads, but it all starts with 1 run. It's Drew Raymond who has recorded 2 of the 4 Blues base hits today. And with 2 outs, he'd love to clutch up here in a wide open left center gap. Check swing on a nasty slider, and he went around. Nowacek loved it. He was shaking his head, yes. Murillo at first and Tallerman at second. Oh, 1. And a slider that misses inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1. Raymond softly serves it down the left field line, and it falls in for a base hit. Tallerman chugs around third base and comes in to score. Drew Raymond legacy game. He is 3 for 3 with an RBI single. Tallerman scores, and Diego Murillo advances to second. Blues finally get on the board in the top half of the 6th inning. A meeting at the mound between Zach Justice and Colin Nowacek, who's making his 6th start of the summer. So now it's Gavin Smith. Nowacek is at 97 pitches, and you got to think if he can't get out of it soon, he's going to get the hook from the manager. First pitch, and it's a fastball blown by Smith for strike one. Blues finally have gotten a run across the board in the top of the 6th inning thanks to an RBI single from Drew Raymond. The 0-1. Smith leaves in the dirt. A ball and a strike now to Gavin. Smith is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout swinging in the second and a ground ball double play in the fourth that ended the inning with Drew Raymond at first base and 1 out. 1-1. Nice looking slider that misses on the back foot of Smith. 2 balls and 1 strike. Nico Button, the catcher with shin guards on, stands on deck. 2-1. Off the end of the bat. It's grounded up the middle. Leininger charges it, throws it over to first in time. Drew Raymond gives the Blues their first run of the afternoon. They still trail 5-1 against the Walnut Creek Crawdads as we head into the bottom half of the 6th inning on the SLO Blues streaming network. The Blues have scored their first run of the ball game in the top half of the 6th inning. Drew Raymond slapped an RBI single the opposite way. It's now a 5-1 lead for the Walnut Creek Crawdads as the Blues have their backs against the walls and face elimination. First pitch to Ryan Ellis is swung on and fouled at home plate for strike one. It's Chase Rogers who is still out there for the Blues after replacing Charlie Royal, who in 4 innings of work allowed 7 hits and 5 runs with 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Rogers trying to clean up the mess here as manager Dean Traynor sparingly uses his arms as he prepares for a potential game against the Sonoma Stompers tomorrow. They got to get through the Dads first. Ellis with a hard liner down the right field line and foul. No balls and 2 strikes to Ellis, who is 2 for 3 today. The leadoff man hit a double in the first, popped out to center, and singled in the fourth. Ellis scored the first run of the ball game for the Dads, who have scored in 3 of their 5 innings today. From the stretch with the bases empty, the 0-2. Ellis takes in the dirt on the slider, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes as the catcher Nico Button blocks it up. Peter Storjahan was getting loose in the Walnut Creek bullpen, and he will most likely replace Colin Nowacek, who pitched north of 100 pitches. 1-2. Ellis takes it for strike 3. Second strikeout of the day for the Blues pitching staff, and this one leads off the home half of the 6th. Ellis sits down looking, and it brings up Cam Calvillo, who is 0 for 3 today. Calvillo popped out to right and grounded out twice. Calvillo, a frequent flyer with the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Has played for the Dads for these past 2 seasons. This is his 3rd. And he takes strike 1 here. Did not play at Gonzaga in 2024 after transferring from Maloney College. Played his first season of D1 ball at Cal State Northridge in the Big West, batting .304. 0-1 and a frisbee-looking slider missing outside, a ball and a strike. One and one. Slider just missing low and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. A Castro Valley native. On the 2-1. Calvillo pops it up into left field. Raymond in front of the warning track circles it and makes the catch. 2 quick outs here from Chase Rogers, and it brings up Joey Donnelly, who is 3 for 3 today, scoring 3 of the 5 runs the Crawdads have put up.
Right fielder Joey Donnelly.
Donnelly has singled in all 3 plate appearances today. One of them drove in a run in the first inning and drove across actually the first run of the ball game for Walnut Creek. First pitch. Donnelly takes on the outer half, strike 1. The 0-1. And Donnelly just takes off the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. A nice pitch from Chase Rogers. Bullpen empty for the Blues. Peter Storjahan still up and moving around for Walnut Creek. I would say 99% Storjahan is coming in to replace the starter Nowacek. 1-1. Lefty grounds it to second. Constantine vacuums it up and throws it over to first in time to retire the side. First time that Joey Donnelly has been retired today as Chase Rogers faces the minimum in the bottom half of the 6th. We head into the 7th. The Blues trail by 4 in an elimination game against the Walnut Creek Crawdads. And a frame brought to you by Educational Employees Credit Union. Top half of the 7th inning is brought to you by Educational Employees Credit Union, proudly serving the Central Coast. EECU is located in Paso Robles and can be found at myecu.org. Experience smarter banking at Educational Employees Credit Union. Nico Button swings at the first pitch and fouls it straight back into the fence for strike 1 against the new pitcher from UC Santa Barbara, Peter Storjahan. He replaces the starter for Walnut Creek, Colin Nowacek, who in 6 innings of work allowed 5 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Button lines this one to left center alleyway, and it falls in for a base hit. 2 hops the wall as he rounds first and heads into second base with a leadoff stand-up double. Second double of the day for the Blues, and this one kicks off the top half of the 7th. Blues trail by 4. It's a 5-1 lead for the Crawdads as San Luis Obispo faces elimination against Walnut Creek. Looks like we'll have a pinch hitter too. Gavin Constantine started today's game as the 9-hole, and it will be Charlie Caruso, the left-handed hitting catcher from Northwestern. Constantine went 0 for 2 with a grounder to short and a strikeout swinging, and now it's Caruso with a runner at second base. First pitch, and Caruso leaves a slider low, 1-0. Peter Stoyahan has a 2.32 earned run average coming out of the pen for the Dads. He's making his 12th appearance out of the bullpen. 21 strikeouts in 19 1/3 innings pitched. Slider low and inside. Caruso moves his back foot out of the way. 2 balls and no strikes. In those 19 1/3 innings pitched as well. 9 walks and 9 hits. The last time Stoyahan rolled out there for the Dads, it was 5 days ago against the Menlo Park Legends, where he walked 5 in 3 innings. 2-0, Caruso flinches, nods his head no, and he's right. 3 balls and no strikes to Charlie Caruso, who adjusts his purple and white batting gloves in the left-handed batter's box. E.J. Royal, the leadoff man, stands on deck for the Blues, and Caruso's in a 3-0 count. The pitch. Charlie takes all the way outside, and that's ball 4. So after a stellar outing from Colin Nowacek, the new pitcher Peter Stoyahan has given up a double and now a walk. It's Royal, who is 1 for 3 today. Strikeout looking, a single in the 3rd, and a ground ball back to the pitcher Nowacek in the 5th. The righty's got runners on first and second, trailing by 4 against the Dads. First pitch. Royal watches a slider whiffle outside. 1 ball and no strikes. E.J., a JUCO bandit from Cuesta College and a former trailblazer from Utah Tech. Looking for the right fit in the Frontier League. 1-0. Fastball yanked low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Stoyahan already visibly frustrated as he spits his sunflower seeds and messes with the baseball off the rubber. Nico Button at second and Charlie Caruso at first. 2 catchers on base, but Caruso's got some good speed over at first base. Right on right matchup. Royal takes a called strike, nibbling at the outside corner, 2-1. Blues are now within slam range following the RBI single from Drew Raymond in the 6th. Raymond's 3 for 3 today. 2-1. Royal flinches at another fastball hitting the outside corner, 2-2. EJ has been the table setter all summer for San Luis Obispo, and he wants to keep the line moving here as the air cools down in Northern California in Walnut Creek. With no outs, 2-2. Spits on a slider, missing low and outside, and now a full count. The Blues got in 7 full count at-bats against the starting pitcher, Colin Nowacek. And now Royal sits in 1 against Peter Stoyahan, fresh out the bullpen. (3-2). EJ with a 50% swing fights it off. Already Halen Guerrero is getting loose in the bullpen for Walnut Creek. Another right-hander. No outs, runners on first and second. Blues trail 5-1 in the 7th. Here's the payoff. Royal spits on it outside, ball 4. 3 straight base runners for San Luis Obispo. Loads the bases in the top half of the 7th. Button advances to third, Caruso at second, and EJ at first. And the pitching coach for the Dads heads out there to talk to his big, tall right-hander and Peter Storjahan, who stands in at 6'5", 230 pounds. It's Jake Hixenbaugh, the left-handed hitter, batting second today with nobody out and the bases bloated with Blues, ready to face the right-hander. A long meeting at the mound. The home plate umpire heads out there to break it up. And all of a sudden, the crowd here at Monte Vista High School has fallen flat. The left side of the bleachers, though, are full of traveling Blues fans who made the 3-hour and 30-minute drive to watch their Blues hopefully earn themselves a trip to the next round. First pitch to Hixenbaugh, and he takes it for a called strike. Jake is 1 for 3 today. A strikeout looking, a ground out to second, and a single in the sixth. That led off the inning. Slider spinning outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hixenbaugh, a Colorado State Pueblo commit after a couple seasons at Monterey Peninsula College with the Lobos. A local who grew up going to Blues games as a child. Was one of those kids asking for autographs in the stairwells. Now he's here. Fastball yanked just to the left side of his left foot. And it's 2 balls and a strike now. Walnut Creek fans on their feet in the right field bleachers. Fans anticipate the crack of the bat from Hixenbaugh with the bases loaded. 2-1. Jake moves his arms above a fastball inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Hixenbaugh has driven in 10 runs on 20 hits this summer for the Blues. Fought for playing time for 3/4 of this summer. It's paying off here down the final stretch. 3-1. Hixenbaugh pops that up down the left field line. Sprinting is Coupland, but he won't have a play as it lands out of play. Another full count, this time to Jake Hixenbaugh. That's 2 in a row from Peter Storjahan. And the Blues doing a great job of making the Dads throw a lot of pitches. 5-1 lead for Walnut Creek in the top half of the 7th. Bases loaded. No outs. 3-2. Hixenbaugh with a high chopper to first. The first baseman Taylor bobbles it. He'll tag Jake, but a run comes in to score. Hixenbaugh out at first base, but the Blues make it a 5-2 game now. An RBI ground out. And that's the first out of the 7th. Runners at second and third now. Nico Button scored. Caruso advanced to third, and EJ Royals at second for Zach Tollerman.
First baseman Zach Hollow.
Tollerman is 0 for 1 today. Walked twice and reached on an error in the third. The team leader in OPS, stepping in with 2 runners in scoring position, representing the tying run. Fastball yanked outside, 1-0. At the right guy you want at the plate. 17 runs driven in on 31 hits. The team leader in batting average, on base percentage, and slugging. Storjahan delivers. 1-0 hits him square in the back. For the 11th time in 31 games, Zach Tollerman has been hit by a pitch. That fills the bases once again for the Blues, and Sam Ardois steps in. Ardois is 0 for 3 today with a strikeout swinging and a pair of pop-ups. And now heading out to the mound for Walnut Creek is the manager to talk to Peter Storjahan. And not the way they had this one drawn up, as Storjahan hits the dugout. And with the bases loaded, Peter's day is done, and a new right-hander emerges from the bullpen. We'll tell you more about him right after this. The Blues threatening, trailing by 3 in the top of the 7th inning with the bases loaded and a new pitcher on the SLO Blues streaming network. All right, so a new pitcher coming out of the pen for the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Peter Stoyahan's day comes to a close. A disastrous outing for Peter, only going a third of an inning, 1 hit, 2 walks, no strikeouts, allowing a double against Nico Button, and the bases are loaded. Peter's not quite off the hook yet, but it's Halen Guerrero, the right-hander from Santa Barbara City. First pitch to Sam Ardois is a called strike, 0-1. With one out, the Blues have a chance to take the lead here with Ardois at the dish as he represents the go-ahead run for San Luis Obispo, who had been shutting out for 5 innings. They have collected at least 1 run in the past 2 frames as he sends it into center. Johnson giving chase. He's in front of the track, makes the catch and a spin, and a throw into the infield. A sacrifice fly for Sam Ardois makes it a 5-3 game. E.J. Royal tagged from second and advanced to third. And Ardois cashes in a run. He scores Charlie Caruso from third base, who replaced Gavin Constantine earlier this inning. So Royal at third, Tollerman stayed at first, and Diego Murillo, yes, 2 days ago was the walk-off hero for San Luis Obispo as they defeated the OC Riptide, who were the 2 seed in the CCL South, by a score of 5-3. Murillo watches the first pitch, fastball low and outside. Tying run is at first base in Tollerman. And Diego spoils a fastball up and out of the stadium for strike 1. Blues now trail 5-3. 3 runs in their past 2 innings. 1-1. Murillo off the hands, fights this one away, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Uncommitted middle infielder from San Luis Obispo, a graduate of SLO High, Cuesta College, and a transfer from Northeastern State. Entering his senior season, but having a great summer. 1-2. Murillo winds it the opposite way. Coming in is Donnelly. He won't have a play, and a run scores. Blues have brought it within 1. Diego Murillo slaps a single the opposite way. And now now here's the hottest hitter in the lineup, at least today, and Drew Raymond. E.J. Royal scored from third, and Tarman advanced into second base. The tying run now in scoring position for the Blues. It's the lefty Raymond. 3 for 3 with an RBI and a double. Pitch kicks away from the catcher Justice, and now the tying run stands just 90 feet away. Halen Guerrero from Pittsburgh, California has a 1.88 ERA, making his 9th appearance. 14 Ks in 14 and a third innings pitched. Struck out 2 and allowed 1 hit in 3 2/3 against the Merchants 6 days ago. And is slowly folding against the Blues. Raymond with a high chopper to second. Big hop to Hirayama as he flips over to first in time. But the Blues have brought themselves a few runs closer to taking the lead. They now only trail by 1 after trailing by 5 for the majority of this game. It's 5-4 Walnut Creek as we head into the bottom half of the 7th on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. An exciting top half of the 7th inning here from Monte Vista High School. The Blues have dropped 3 on the Walnut Creek Crawdads, and they've brought it within 1. It's a 5-4 ball game with Zach Justice leading it off for the Dads in an elimination game. First pitch from Rogers, and Rogers takes a fastball high, 1-0. Zach Justice is 0 for 2 today, a pair of ground ball outs, and was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Eventually came around to score in a 2-run inning for Walnut Creek. Here's the 1-0. And Justice almost hit by a fastball high and tight. 2 balls and no strikes. The Crawdads have scored in every other inning today. They've scored in every odd inning. 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 2 in the 5th. This one hit hard into left center field, and Raymond fights the sun, makes the one-handed catch for the first out of the inning. Fly ball out from the catcher, Zach Justice, committed to San Diego State. And now it's the first baseman, Cam Taylor from Eastern Kentucky. Taylor coming all the way from Georgia. Just about 3,000 miles to play some summer baseball in Northern California for the Dads. Right on left matchup, first pitch. Taylor buckled up on a slider, but it misses off the plate inside, 1-0. Cam today is 0 for 2. A walk, a pop out to left, and a ground ball out to the second baseman, Constantine, who has since been replaced by Diego Murillo. Brady Alves is at short. The 1-0. Taylor off the end of the bat, squibs it down the first base line, and it's foul. 1-1 to the left-hander with his team up by 1 against the Blues. Winner of this one earns a trip to Arnold Field in Sonoma to play the 1 seed in the Stompers. This is the CCL North wild card game. Taylor pops it up and out of the stadium. 1 ball and 2 strikes. At 6'2", 200 pounds, the left-hander, rising redshirt junior, saw action in 15 games and started in 9 at Eastern Kentucky. A second baseman and designated hitter, batting south of 200 with 3 runs driven in. 1-2. Taylor takes off the plate as Button backhands it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sun setting here at Monte Vista High School, home of the Walnut Creek Crawdads. The wind dying down a little bit too. Casting a yellowish hue on the field as Taylor takes a slider low and inside for ball 3. Standing on deck, it's the shortstop Riley Leininger. A new right-hander getting loose in the bullpen for the Blues. It's Hawk Hill. With 1 out, the payoff. Crushed deep into right field. All Hixenbach can do is watch it fly out of here. A no-doubt moonshot for Cam Taylor makes it a 6-4 ball game.
Third home run of the summer for Cam Taylor.
Taylor smashes his 3rd long ball of the summer. Fans in the right center bleachers are going nuts. For Taylor, that's his 2nd home run against the San Luis Obispo Blues. The Blues have deflated like a whoopee cushion. Riley Leininger swings and misses over the first pitch slider for strike 1. Bottom of the 7th inning here. Now 6-4 lead for the Dads. And Leininger in an 0-1 count from Rogers. The pitch. Another slider missing outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Leininger is 1 for 2 today. An RBI single in the first and a ground ball out to second. Was intentionally walked in the 5th with runners on second and third. 1-1 is hit hard and out of play down the right field line. Well, the Crawdads keep their stride here in the bottom of the 7th. They have scored in every odd inning today. Right against lefty, the righty Rogers delivers. And a high fastball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zach Justice led off this inning with a fly out to left field, and Cam Taylor unloaded to right. His 3rd home run of the summer, his 2nd against the Blues to make it a 6-4 ball game. 2-2. Leininger cracks this one into center field. Royal giving chase at the fence, scales the wall, and with his right hand pressing the fencing, makes the second out of the inning. So here's Joe Coupland with 2 gone. Coupland is 1 for 2. Was hit by pitch in the first, grounded to third, and then singled in the 5th. Right on right matchup as he twitches in the batter's box. Now steadies up. Coupland takes a fastball low, 1-0. Joe from Chabot Community College entering his sophomore season with the Gladiators and a very productive year. 1-0. Coupland, a big wave and a miss on a slider for strike 1. Slashing 265, 362, and 556 this summer. One and one. Coupland, another long swing and a miss on a slider for strike 2. Joey struck out 17 times and 117 at-bats this summer with the Gladiators at Chabot. With 2 outs, Rogers stands still, now delivers. 1-2 swung on and missed. 3 straight sliders to Joe Coupland. He goes after all of them. But the damage has been done by the Crawdads. A solo home run from Cam Taylor makes it a 6-4 lead for Walnut Creek as we head into the 8th inning. The Blues trail on the SLO Blues streaming network. Pinch hitter for San Luis Obispo, Gavin Smith, is out of the game, and now it's the young buck, Eric Furness, who is entering his first season of college baseball at Cuesta College. He faces Halen Guerrero. First pitch is a fastball missing up and outside for ball 1. Well, the Blues slapped 3 runs in the top of the 7th inning and made it a 5-4 game. They brought it within 1 against the Crawdads, but a solo home run from Cam Taylor makes it 6-4. Furness fights this one off, and it rolls down the first base side and foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. So Gavin Smith's day is done after going 0 for 3. A strikeout, a grounder into a double play, and a grounder to second. Furness takes here, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Eric recently graduated from St. Joe's High School, 30 minutes south of the Sinsheimer Stadium where the Blues play. 2-1, he flinches on a pitch missing high and tight, 3 balls and a strike. Kate O'Hara and Hawk Hill both getting loose in the Blues bullpen. Here's the 3-1. Furness drills it into left field. Coupland will watch it drop in front of him, a base hit. Fresh off the bench, Eric Furness whoops a single into left. Leadoff base hit for Eric, and it brings up Nico Button, who led off the 7th with a double in the left center gap.
Catcher Nico Button.
Tying run at the dish, and Button is 1 for 3 today. Aside from his double and runs scored, he has grounded out twice. Furness with some pretty good speed over at first, getting a sizable lead. Button takes the first pitch low and inside. That's ball 1. Blues want to stay an extra night in Northern California and play the Sonoma Stompers tomorrow. Button off the hands, bloops it into shallow center. Johnson giving chase, and he won't get there. Furness is in at second base, and Nico Button records his second base hit of the day, a bloop single in a shallow center. Nico is 2 for 4, his first multi-hit game of the summer. So now the go-ahead run is at the dish, and it's a new hitter. Charlie Caruso pinch hit for Gavin Constantine in the 7th, and now it's Brady Alves hitting for Caruso. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes it for ball 1. An adjustment that needed to be made as they needed, because a catcher replaced an infielder, and so now an infielder has to replace a catcher, so the defense is up to par. 1-0. Shows Button, pulls it back again, this time for a called strike. 84% ball one rate on Halen Guerrero. And the Nerds won there as he threw ball one to Alves, but now sits in a 1-1 count with Brady choking up on the bat. Shows bunt again with runners on first and second, stabs at it, and that's a strike. Alves fresh off the bench from Butte Community College. Grew up near Reno, Nevada. Right on right matchup. And a 1-2. Alves with a defensive swing spoils that one away. We'll do it again. No outs, a 1-2 count to the infielder from Butte. Furness at second and Nico Button at first. Top of the order stands on deck and E.J. Royal. Alves choking up on his bat. Guerrero delivers, and Alves waves and misses. Throw goes to third, and Furness is gunned down at third base. Coach Rene Regalado cannot believe it. He throws off the helmet and puts his hands on his bald head as Furness slumps into the dugout. Crawdads love it. That's a big strike him out, throw him out. And manager Dean Traynor walking down the third baseline wants more clarification on that call or perhaps another angle. The second base umpire made the call, and Rene Regalado is saying that the home plate umpire had a better angle. And Dean trying to talk it out. Dean still talking with the field umpire, Rene Regalado, huffing and puffing in the coach's box. Brady Alves struck out swinging, and Eric Furness was thrown out at third. So now Dean Traynor, with a sigh and a look of bewilderment, will strut back into the dugout. A big break for Walnut Creek as time is slowly starting to expire on the Blues season in the top half of the eighth inning, where they trail 6-4 in an elimination game. So it's just Button at first. Here's Royal. First pitch curveball looping high, 1 ball, no strikes. Royal, the leadoff man, faces Halen Guerrero for the first time today. Fastball and a called strike here, 1-1. The uncommitted Vaquero from Santa Barbara City College working from the stretch against the leadoff man Royal for the Blues. With 2 outs, a runner on first. Royal grounds it right back up the middle and into center field, a base hit. Button's in at second and EJ's at first. And man, don't want to play that what-if game if you're the Blues, but if that strike him out, throw him out doesn't happen, that scores a run and you bring yourself within 1 against the Dads. Well, the past is in the past, and up comes Jake Hixenbaugh. Second hit of the day for E.J. Royal, third hit of the inning, and it's Hixenbaugh who is 1 for 4 today. Hicks struck out, grounded out, singled, and recorded an RBI ground out in the 7th as he takes ball 1 here. A lefty from Atascadero, California. A 20-minute drive north of San Luis Obispo. Playing on his favorite childhood team. As Guerrero pops the leather here, and Hicks takes strike 1. Runners on first and second. Button at second and Royal at first. Hixenbaugh with 2 outs. Flinches and takes a nasty-looking two-seam fastball for strike 2. It's a good pitch. A long and thoughtful sigh for Jake Hixenbaugh as fans scooch to the edge of their seats. With 2 outs, the 1-2. Jake goes fishing for strike 3. Guerrero screams into the face of Hixenbaugh and high-fives his teammates as he heads into the dugout. He just got them out of a huge jam. A big old goose egg in the top half of the 8th inning. It's still 6-4 Walnut Creek in the CCL North wildcard game as we head into the home half of the inning on the SLO Blues streaming network. Crawdads look to add on some more insurance against the San Luis Obispo Blues in the bottom half of the 8th inning as Chase Rogers faces Trey Johnson. Johnson takes the first pitch low and outside for ball 1. Well, the Crawdads tacked on with a solo home run from Cam Taylor in the 7th, and they left 2 runners on base in the 8th. A strike him out, throw him out from Brady Alves, and then throwing out Eric Furness at third was a big killer. Off the end of the bat, this one skied in the air to center field. And Johnson's retired on the fly ball out to E.J. Royal. Quick out here for Chase Rogers as it brings up Hunter Hirayama. Hirayama, the newly acquired second baseman, is 0 for 3 today with a pop out to right and a couple of ground ball outs. Braden Barnes, the former Sun Devil and southpaw, is getting loose in the Walnut Creek bullpen. Right-hander Hirayama steps in against Rogers. First pitch. Hunter chops it down the third baseline, and it's foul. Hawk Hill and Kate O'Hara both warming up in the Blues bullpen as the clock continues to tick on the summer of 2025 for the Blues. It's a 2-run ball game at Monte Vista High. 0-1. Lined into left center field, and Raymond dives. Did he make that catch? No. Drew Raymond can't come up with it as the throw goes into the infield. Tollerman scoops it up at first base. That's a base hit for Hunter Hirayama, and with 1 out, it puts a runner on first base. Ryan Ellis steps in for the Dads. Walnut Creek has recorded a hit in 6 of their 8 innings today.
Designated hitter Ryan Ellis.
Both teams have 10 hits. The big separator is that solo shot in the 7th. Pick over to first, and Hirayama's there in time. Ellis today is 2 for 4. The leadoff man doubled in the first, popped out to center, singled and struck out looking. Scored the first run of the day for the Dads, which got things going. Drilled into right field. Hixenbaugh makes the running catch. A line drive out in right. And a big second out for Chase Rogers as it brings up Cam Calvillo. Calvillo is 0 for 4 today. A couple of pop outs and a couple of ground ball outs. His team up 2 against the Blues
Third baseman,
They got one out to play with to add some more insurance. First pitch. Calvillo flinches on a slider and a called strike, 0-1. Grounder through the 5-hole, a base hit. Chase Rogers hangs a slider, and Cam Calvillo keeps the inning alive with his first base hit of the afternoon. Here comes trouble for the Blues. Left-handed right fielder Joey Donnelly, who is 3 for 4 today, has scored 3 of the 6 runs this afternoon, drove in one of them with his trio of singles. Now, manager Dean Traynor takes his time heading out to the mound. He's got a couple arms to go to in the bullpen. He hasn't made a move yet. Fifth in the CCL with RBIs and hits. Awaits Chase Rogers, the right-handed hurler. And Traynor has yet to make a move on the hill. Both righties are still getting loose in the pen for San Luis Obispo. And at this point, you got to think that he'd point by now. I feel like we're past the point of no return in terms of asking for more help. And so, yeah, Dean's just going to have a talk on the mound and head back into the dugout as he reapplies his sunglasses. Here's Donnelly with runners on first and second and 2 outs. First pitch. Joey takes it below the zone. 1 ball and no strikes. Chase Rogers comes set. Now steps off. Hunter Hirayama at second and Cam Calvillo at first, both reached on singles. 1-0. Donnelly takes on the outside corner for strike 1. Joey, a Fordham commit. Spent the summer of 22 and 23 with the Crawdads. With the Arroyo Saints last year. Long swing and a miss on a sweeper for strike 2. Alamo, California native, a grad student at 6'2", 210 pounds. Wanted to give his dad some more insurance before putting a bow on this one at the top of the 9th. 1-2. Donnelly chops it at home plate. Another slider from Chase Rogers. Zach Justice stands on deck. He's hitless today. Rogers dangles his right arm from the stretch. Gets his sign with his teal blue mitt. Comes in at the waist. With 2 outs, the 1-2. Donnelly fouls it at home plate again. Sixth pitch of the at-bat coming right up to Joey. Left-handed Donnelly against the right-handed throwing Rogers from Lafayette. Joey headed to the A-10 this fall to play for the Rams. Here's the 1-2. Donnelly takes just below the zone for ball 2. Deuces wild offering to Joey Donnelly. Left-handed batter adjusting his orange-tinted glasses. Hirayama at first and Calvillo at second. Rogers gets his sign and comes set. 2-2 with 2 outs. Joey lines it right back up the middle, and it's a base hit. Rounding third and scoring is Hirayama. Calvillo slides headfirst safely into third, and Joey Donnelly wreaks havoc against the Blues. Fourth single of the afternoon, second RBI, and the Crawdads extend 7-4 with 2 outs. Dean Traynor makes a move to the bullpen. We'll let you know who it is. Right after this, the Blues now trail 7-4 against the Dads in an elimination game on the SLO Blues streaming network. New pitcher in for the Blues. Chase Rogers' day is not quite over. In 3 2/3 innings pitched, has allowed 5 hits. The runs is to be determined. 1 intentional walk, 2 strikeouts, and a home run. It's Hawk Hill. First pitch is lined sharply down the left field line and foul. Good timing for Hill, as he was just named an impact incoming transfer to Northwest Nazarene by D2 Baseball on Instagram. He's making an appearance for the first time in 7 days. Last pitched against the Bombers. Slider missing below the zone, 1 ball and 1 strike. Hawk on the season has a 4.69 earned run average. He's making his 9th appearance for the Blues. In 23 innings pitched, has struck out 12, allowed 25 hits, and 8 walks. Against the Bombers, he pitched in 2 1/3, walked 1, and struck out 2, facing 8 batters, allowing no runs. Has a 1.43 whip this summer with the Blues and is heading to Northwest Nazarene in the fall. Pick to first, it's a B move over to Tollerman, and the base runner Donnelly is back in time. Cam Calvillo stands at third and Joey Donnelly at first. Donnelly drove in Hunter Hirayama from second base on an RBI single for his 4th base hit of the day. This one grounded to third, gobbled up by Ardois, pats the glove, and the pick over at first can't be made. Cam Calvillo scores, Donnelly heads into third, an error by Sam Ardois keeps the inning alive. Ouch. The Blues are watching their season flash before their eyes, 1 swing of the bat, 1 error at a time. 3rd error of the day for San Luis Obispo. They've also allowed 12 hits against Walnut Creek. Here's Cam Taylor. mashed a solo home run in the 7th. Slider misses low. Button blocks it in front, 1-0. All the Blues bullpen can really do, which is exposed to the field, is stand with their hands on their hips and wince into the sun as their season slowly crumbles. 2 runners in scoring position following the error from Sam Ardois. Calvillo scored and Donnelly's at third with Justice at second. Here's Cam Taylor as he swings and foul tips this one for strike 1. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. For the first time today, the Dads have scored in an even inning. 8-4 lead for Walnut Creek in the CCL North wildcard game. 1-1. Taylor fouls this one away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hawkhill gets his grip set as he slowly gets back on the rubber. And a 1-2 count with 2 gone to Cam Taylor, who's 1 for 3 with a homer and a walk. He steps off. Hunter Hirayama and Cam Calvillo both scored in this inning. They both reached on singles. Both of those runs will be charged to Chase Rogers. 1-2. Taylor drills this one into center field. Royal shows numbers. He's at the fence. It's off the top of the wall, and he catches it. So that is a single for Cam Taylor. If he hit that literally an inch higher, it's gone. Well, it drives in 2 runs either way, because both runners were running on 2 outs. It scored Donnelly from third and Zach Justice from second. The longest, hardest hit single you'll ever see. And it comes off the bat of Cam Taylor, who was literally an inch away from recording his 2nd home run of the day. 10-4 lead for Walnut Creek as it unravels in the bottom half of the 8th. Hawkhill stands in the stretch. Taylor at first and Leininger at the dish as they pick to first. 2 RBI single for Cam. His 3rd RBI of the day. This one popped up and out of play from Leininger. An error from Sam Ardois kept the inning alive and allowed a couple more runs to score. Nico Button stands up, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Riley Leininger. 1 for 3 day, an RBI single, a fly out, a ground out, an intentional walk. One. Leininger off the end of the bat, floats this one to the center, and E.J. Royal makes the catch. Blues must mount a 6-run comeback in this inning alone to keep their season alive. 2 up for the Blues. It's Tolman, Ardois, and Murillo, their 3 best hitters in the order. Can they complete the comeback against the Crawdads and keep their season alive? We'll find out in the bottom half of the 9th inning, top half of the 9th inning, which is brought to you by Ancient Owl. Top half of the ninth inning is brought to you by our friends at Ancient Owl Beer Garden and Bottle Shop. Located just around the road from Sinsheimer, Ancient Owl is the official home of the Blues Watch Party all season long. Ancient Owl, choose your beer wisely. Zach Tarman leads off the top half of the ninth inning. The Blues trail by 6 against the Walnut Creek Crawdads as they are on the verge of elimination in the wild card game. 0-1 and a fastball missing outside, 1-1. Halen Carrero is back out there throwing some fuzz against ZT, who is 0 for 1 today with 2 walks and a hit by pitch. Scored one of the Blues 4 runs. Tollerman with a 50% swing sheaths that sword for strike 2. Blues have the teeth of the order due up in Tollerman, Ardois, and Diego Murillo. 1-2. Fastball missing high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wind blowing straight in from right field. 2-2. Tallman takes a 4-seamer high and tight, and now a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Popped up and out of play. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Zach Tollerman, who was 2 for 4 a couple of days ago against the Orange County Riptide. Winner of this one will travel to Sonoma tomorrow at 6 p.m. to play the Stompers. Another foul away from Zach Tollerman. It's still 3-2. Tollerman takes low and outside, ball 4. Third walk of the day for Zach Tollerman. He's reached base safely in all of his plate appearances. One of them was an error by the shortstop Leininger. Here's a leadoff base runner in the 9th. Now here's Sam Ardois. First pitch, Artois hits it hard into left field, but Coupland is there to make the one-handed catch. Crawdads are 2 outs away from hopping on the bus and heading to wine country. In the CCL South, the Arroyo Seco Saints and the Orange County Riptide are about to get going in 15 minutes. The 1 seed is the Caneo Oaks in that part of the bracket. Here's Diego Murillo. Murillo grounds it the opposite way. Second baseman Hirayama slides and flips it to first. Wow, what a play from Hunter Hirayama. And just like that, with Zach Tollerman at second base, it's Drew Raymond up with 2 outs. And Drew has been a demon today against the Crawdads. The Blues have a long way to go if they want to come back. First pitch. Raymond chops it foul. Drew today is 3 for 4. Doubled to record the first Blues hit of the afternoon. Couple of singles, one of them driving in a run in the 6th and grounded out to second in the 7th inning. With 2 outs, the 0-1. Pitch kicks away from the catcher, Justice, and Tollerman trots into third base. Pass ball moves ZT into third base. The 0-1. Raymond chops it down the first base line and foul. Eric Furness stands on deck. With 2 outs, the 1-2. Raymond leaves a high fastball 2-2. Thought about it for a sec. From the stretch, here's Guerrero. Raymond sends it deep into center field, but Johnson is there and makes the catch. As the sun sets here at Monte Vista High School in Walnut Creek, California, much is the same for the Blues season as it comes to an end in 2025. San Luis Obispo is eliminated by the Walnut Creek Crawdads in 9 innings by a score of 10-4 here in Northern California. What a season it was for the Blues. They finished 31-18 and 24-17 in conference play. And just really a shocking result here in Walnut Creek. A tightly knit ball game, and just couldn't go the Blues' way as they're eliminated in the wild card round for the second season in a row. Last year it was at home against the Sonoma Stompers, and now it's out here on the campus of Monte Vista High School against the Walnut Creek Crawdads. The Dads will play the Sonoma Stompers tomorrow at 6 p.m. at Arnold Field. That winner will go on to the championship against the winner of the South. And that kicks off in about 10 minutes, the Arroyo Seco Saints against the Orange County Riptide. Well, welcome into the broadcast booth, everyone. This is Nate Mills, your broadcaster for the San Luis Obispo Blues, and I've been doing this for 3 summers now, calling balls and strikes for families, friends, and anyone interested in watching Blues baseball. And words can't really describe how much of an absolute joy it has been to represent the San Luis Obispo Blues and represent the Central Coast, and to be honored with being the voice of the Blues 3 years in a row. I'm a graduate of Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, and when I initially left to go to Arizona State to get my master's in sports journalism, I thought I'd never come back to the Central Coast for a long period of time. This opportunity was given to me, and I jumped on it immediately. I would do anything to get an opportunity to come back into SLO, and I did. And it was an absolute pleasure calling Blues baseball for you this year, the year before that, and the year before that. I'd like to thank my co-broadcaster, Ryan Giacomini, for all the work he's put in this summer, acting as a production assistant as well, and being a great color guide too. Jack Smith from 2 years ago, being an excellent mentor to me and being kind of a gateway into this profession for me. For Nico Calancini and Adam Stowe, GM and assistant GM of the Blues, for giving me this opportunity for 3 years in a row and letting me stick around and be a pest on this broadcast. I greatly appreciate that too. And of course, all the fans out there watching on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. It has been such a fun ride. And as I search for minor league jobs in the future, I will always have you guys in my mind. I will never forget those nights at Sinsheimer's where the CO2 canisters go off and it's frigid at night and the crowd goes wild, people ringing their cowbells. It's just one of those things that's going to stick with me forever. So this is Nate Mills signing off for the final time on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. I hope we can stay in touch. The Blues get eliminated 10-4 against the Walnut Creek Crawdads at Monte Vista High School for the last time.